So Craig, as we wrap up day one of our virtual National Coaches Forum this year, obviously 3 great presenters to get us going. But let's start at the top with John Crawley, the Director of High Performance for Team Sports at the USOPC. What were your key takeaways from his presentation today?
Yeah, I think what I really enjoyed about John's presentation was how he looked at outside of sport and looked at different high-performing organisations, and some of the examples he gave were a surgical team. He spoke about the Navy SEALs. And so, again, looking and dissecting those sort of industries and understanding what is critical for them for delivering high performance was interesting to see. And then how he sort of brought it back towards team sports and, came up with a list of what he believes are the great tenets of high performance sport. He spoke about joy and expertise, the ability to be adaptable, setting high standards, and this idea of a common purpose. So I thought there was some great messaging in that first presentation.
Yeah, and I like the quote that he led with, which he kind of circled back to at the end, was about the players play the game, or in Arsene Wenger's words, the player is king. So are we supporting players to play and succeed without us is a key message for me as well. Our second presenter up, obviously, our current under-16 women's national team head coach, Katie Baum, sharing her thoughts on pressing. What do you take from her presentation?
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic job. I thought she did a really nice job of presenting her topic, which was talking about the high press. And I thought she spoke about it from a really insightful player's point of view, which is always interesting to hear about. And then I thought the journey she took us through about how we understand it, how we practice it, and then how you can, as coaches, train it, I thought was really impactful. And I'm hoping that a lot of coaches will take a lot of actionable items from that presentation, and they can actually start to get out on the field and try some of those things out.
Yeah, it was obviously a super strength for her as a player. As you say, burglar was the nickname, stealing the ball. I think a couple of comments from coaches who were watching the presentation was around just great use of analogies to really bring this to life for them, whether we're talking about cutting off oxygen or the pieces of the puzzle and so on. So yeah, a great presentation in terms of our hockey presentation for today. And Stuart Lancaster sharing his insights from high performance rugby. What were your takeaways from his presentation?
Well, I think, as I said in my introduction, I've always sort of admired Stuart's work. I think he's got, a great set of values and philosophy. So it's always interesting to listen to him about that. But I like the idea that he was sort of really encouraging us to think about that we can develop leaders, and leadership. It's not something that is just bestowed on a few people. It can be practiced and trained. So I think that's a good message to hear. But he's also interested to hear about the qualities that he likes to see in his captains, and elements of inspiration. Somebody that can care, somebody that's a role model, and also has that tactical nous as well. So it's important for him is trying to find a balance of all those elements. So.
Yeah, well, I guess linking back to some of the other things we've been able to do over this virtual period that's been basically this whole year is a theme that's come out from looking at a lot of these top coaches' idea of authenticity and alignment. And I think there were 2 themes that stuck out to me again here. Obviously, directly spoke about authenticity and being yourself, but then the alignment of this is not culture, or the leadership isn't something that just happens off the field. It's how you structure your practice and so on can inform and ideally be aligned with what you're doing from a leadership perspective is really what's required at the top level. So yeah,
that idea of the behaviors and actions that drive their culture is recognized and spoken to almost every day in practice in their training environment. So that is a reminder of that this is a constant thing and can't just be plugged in at when you need to use it and when you think you can walk away from it.
Well, excellent. We look forward to day 2.
Yeah, absolutely.